issue for veterans. It's certainly worth a look at. All right, Fair Balance, we're going to be hearing from Chuck Grassley, what he was making of a lot of things outlined here.
Siamo famiglia come voi e stiamo a pagliare d'inferno! Oh, per cazzo!
Today's political world has become kind of a lonely place for the business community. Corporate leaders have some big problems with both political parties these days, and increasingly it looks as if the business community doesn't have a natural home in either political party in today's political alignment. Let's look first at some of the problems the business community has with the Democratic Party. By and large, business leaders were happy last year when Joe Biden won the Democratic presidential nomination rather than the more liberal senators Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren, and the business community is actually quite happy right now that the new Biden administration has proposed a big plan to improve the nation's infrastructure, something corporate America has thought was needed for a long time. But business leaders are unhappy because they think the administration has thrown too many extraneous items into that infrastructure package, driving up its cost. And they're particularly unhappy that the administration has chosen to pay for the entire package through increases in corporate taxes. Business leaders have long favored more targeted taxes, such as an increase in the federal gas tax, to pay for infrastructure improvements. At the same time, business leaders are unhappy with some of the early Biden administration regulatory and executive decisions, particularly that early decision to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline, which was to bring oil down into the United States from Canada. If you want some flavor of the way the business community looks at these decisions, look at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. It has called the plan to pay for infrastructure improvements dangerously misguided and said the Keystone XL pipeline decision was politically motivated. At the same time, though, business leaders also have some problems with today's Republican Party. Many of them were opposed to some elements of President Trump's plans for trade and immigration policies, and they objected out loud to the president's attempt to turn around the results of the 2020 presidential election. In fact, some business leaders said that as a result of that attempt by Donald Trump to change the outcome of the 2020 presidential election, they would stop giving money, at least temporarily, to Republican candidates in the Republican Party. Now some big businesses, Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines, for example, have spoken out against Republican plans to tighten up voting procedures, particularly against a new law to change voting practices in Georgia. As a result of those business moves, there's been a kind of an unusual war of words breaking out between the business community and Mitch McConnell, the top Senate Republican. He has essentially called on businesses to stick to corporate matters and stop interfering in political and social debates. Senator McConnell later backed off of those words a bit. Still, the tension over this bout of business community activism is still there. There's a backdrop for all of this. The Republican Party has become more populist and therefore less friendly toward big business, big technology, and big finance. And meanwhile, the Democratic Party has moved to the left as its progressive wing has become more powerful. Bottom line, it's not clear there's a comfortable landing spot for the business community in either party.